Alright, hello tennis guys and welcome to my channel. So with this video I will disappoint many of you, many tennis players who are beginning their journey or who are in the middle of their journey or who are on intermediate or maybe advanced level even. And the thing is that once you learn the basics and you go from a beginner to a more advanced tennis player, you will realize that tennis is more than about tactics, movement, skill, the shot making, the mental strength. And there is the one aspect that I don't know why, but I don't see many people talking about. And that's the fact that I have learned through my 30 plus years career, and that brought me success over less experienced players. And that's the fact that tennis on a higher level or on a competitive level or on a tournament level is most of the time intuitive. It's an intuitive sport. There is nothing like I want to play cross because the cross is more effective right now in this situation at that moment or against that particular opponent. No, you always react in that particular situation and you don't execute plans. You just execute the best possible intuitive shot. What is connected with it is that people who are watching professional tennis players and are amazed how precisely they can play, they don't know, or they might think that it is intentional. But it is not intentional to play the ball on a line or to hit a ball 5 centimeters in front of the line. That's just intuition. That's just the fact that they perform the shot in the most, how would I say it, like fluid, the most free way, I would say. And when it goes on the line, it's just based on millions and millions of previous shots they have trained and they have practiced and they have experienced throughout endless matches. So that's how they achieve the precision. The court is written, or the parameters of the court, the size of the court, the lines are written into the mind and into all of the perception of their body, of the mind, of eyes, and of all the senses you can think of that are necessary for being a good tennis player. So whenever you watch Alcaraz or Sinner, because these are nowadays the biggest examples of great intuitive tennis, and Carlos Alcaraz is the best intuitive player who actually does not have a particular strategy. He's just doing what he wants to do and what he believes is the best execution of the shot. And sometimes the result looks crazy from a point of view of someone who thinks that tennis should be something like a planned sport where you have some rules you need to follow to achieve that. But actually, when you are on a high level, then everything is decided in a second, in a split second, and it's purely intuitive. So I have experienced that, and I experience that more and more the older I get. And I believe it's connected with the amount of matches I'm going through. But still, even though I play tennis for 30 plus years, I can't match these players because their experience is so bigger that I can't match them. You cannot match them because they play more shots, they play against better players, and they have to sustain and maintain a level that you will never come close to because you don't have to. So the tennis is just this pure evolution of senses that when they come all together and when they connect together, you achieve the, I would say, the virtuosity on the court, that everything looks for you so natural and almost so easy that you are doing and you are moving and you are behaving in a way that after you finish a match, you actually don't remember almost what you were doing. Because you were in a state of trance, or let's say, or in the, how is it called, like a tennis nirvana, let's say, and that's the moment, or that's the situation when you perform your best. You are not aware of the audience, you are not aware of the umpire, you are not aware of the ball kids. You just do it in a way that everything outside you that might, let's say, disrupt you or give you some unpleasant feel, you kind of ignore it and you just lock in purely, you lock into the, or onto the ball, onto the court and onto your opponent, and that's it. And it's all purely intuitive. So every shot that you produce is not planned like 2 steps before you do it. It's at that moment, once you see a ball is coming to you from your opponent, there is the process of creation. The thing with that is that you must have, before you approach this, you must have some fundamental, some basic foundation that this kind of describes who you are on the court and what you want to do. And once you commit to it, once you decide that you will be that type of kind of player, you can execute those shots. So there is some plan, but the plan is it's different. It is not the plan like executing those shots exactly how they go, but it's the overall kind of thinking outside the box and accepting that you are the one who should maybe, let's say, dictate the tempo. You are the one who should embrace the situation and go for it no matter what. And you should always also put your fear and your doubts aside. And once you do that, you create this illusion where you accept anything what is going on the court, the good and the bad, and you act like everything is fine, let's say. So you don't stress about the audience, you don't stress about this, you don't stress about maybe bad calls. You are just there to fly. And that's pure intuition. If you ask me, have I ever achieved this? Yes. I have achieved this quite some times during my matches where I was so locked in the match that everything was for me so natural and that it felt so easy to do that even though my opponent was doing his best, I was like 3 levels above him. Just because I felt so free and so connected with the situation that nothing could kind of stand in the way of my game. Of course, those players were mostly weaker than I was, and then everything looks like you are dancing on the court and your opponent is just running for the ball and chasing it, and he is always being late, and you are someone who is creating the reality, and your opponent is just looking at it, but you are the creator. The issue with that is once you face an opponent who is on the same level or is better than you, then it is very hard to play just by intuition. It's very, very difficult. So at that moment, you probably need to find some weak spot of your opponent and maybe exploit it, maybe drop shots, maybe playing some long lines and disrupt his game, destroy his protection. And once you do that, you then switch to the intuitive tennis once again. So these are the situations and occasions where you just need to find the weak spot of the better opponent, and then when you find it, you can exploit it, and once you can exploit it, you can play intuitively once again, because then it will become your like a standard game. So maybe you were trying the whole match just playing cross courts, right? Sometimes long line, and you switch that, you play like cross, cross, then long line, then cross, cross, long line, and you keep your opponent running and guessing what will come next, and then you create the plan. Let's say you create a plan, but after you create the plan, you play intuitively because you already figured out where's the catch, where's the weak spot. So tennis is not something that you just go on the court, you watch some videos of your opponent previously, let's say if you are a pro, and then you say like, okay, he has better this, better this, better this, worse this, and worse that, and you just focus on it right from the start. It might work for some time, but if the player is creative and clever enough, he will turn it, he will flip the coin, he will realize what you're doing, and he will adapt. And then you need to adapt once again. But adapting is only the first part, and then there's the intuition, and you need to play by intuition because some of the shots you just can't execute the way you want. You have to execute them how the situation requires. So guys, let me know in the comments, have you ever entered a state of, let's say, Zen in tennis, or how it is called, or Nirvana, or something like you played so amazingly that even you were surprised what you have achieved, how well you could play, how well you moved? And of course, it's connected with the movement. Movement on the court is absolutely everything. Movement and anticipation, reading the game of your opponent. And let me know in the comments if you ever achieved that, and if you were amazed, if you were able to replicate that, because that's super difficult to play constantly on a constant level like that, unless you are, let's say, Carlos Alcaraz nowadays, who seems to be playing in the Nirvana state or in the Zen state all the time now. So, but he's special, and that's something you cannot learn. You probably have to be born with. And you need to have it in your DNA, in your soul, in your spirit. So that's very hard, because if it was something you can learn, then everybody would do it, right? Everybody would find the final recipe, the ultimate recipe. But sometimes it's just not possible. You were maybe not gifted as much as Carlos Alcaraz or Yannick Sinner, and that's why you have to find other ways to succeed in tennis. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy my videos. If you are new, please subscribe, click the notification bell, click the thumbs up button. You can join my channel, just 99 cents per month, and you will become my member. You will support my channel and you will receive a special badge, and I can also focus on your comments better. And of course, you can support me by the Super Thanks, Buy Me Coffee platform, or the PayPal. All the links are below in the description. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy tennis, play tennis, watch tennis every time, every day, and don't forget to enjoy the manooovrlbity. Bye guys.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line!